Do you want to hear everything? Because once I start, there's no going back. I'm stepping off my porch, keys rattling in my pocket, feeling like there's a chain around my neck. The air outside cuts my cheeks, the sun's too bright, and the neighborhood kids across the street are laughing in a sprinkler's spray as if nothing's wrong. Yet here I am, wanting to vanish. The worst part is, you see it coming, but you can't stop it. That's what time does. It doesn't heal. It erases all the little signals that once kept you safe. It grinds away at your illusions until you look around and see nothing but rubble. My name is Thomas Caldwell, Tom for short, and I've got a million reasons to keep my mouth shut, but I'm past that point, beyond silence, or reason or hope. I used to think I'd be the man who'd grow old with a loyal partner. I believed in the slow comfort of routine, in the warmth of someone sleeping beside you with absolute trust. Now, my only dream is to die. Either quickly, in some head-on crash, or slowly, letting the nights bleed me dry. Because I learned the hard way that time isn't on our side. When trust is broken, time can't save you. It drags you, day by excruciating day, deeper into the knowledge that everything you've ever loved is gone. I lock the front door, shaky hands making a mess of the keys. My foot catches on the loose step, causing me to stumble. That's me lately, stumbling at every turn. Last night, I tried to muster the courage to confront her, but I froze. My wife, Julia, looked at me with tired green eyes, the same eyes I fell in love with, and asked if I was okay. I just shook my head. I can't recall if I even answered. Because how do you tell the woman you marry that she's turning into a stranger? How do you articulate the swirling chaos inside you? The phone in my hand feels like a weapon. I slip it into my pocket. I walk to my car. I pause, hearing the distant hum of traffic from the main road. Cars pass, one after another, a constant rush of motion and life. Inside my heart, there's only a hollow hush. The contrast is staggering. The world out there is so alive, and I'm so not. It all started with small things, you know. People say that when marriages fail, it's rarely an explosion. It's more like a slow leak. That's how it was for us. Her phone used to lie around the house, face up on the dining table, or propped against the couch cushions while we ate dinner. Then suddenly, it was always in her hand or tucked in her purse. She'd check it the moment she woke up, and she kept it with her even when she went to the bathroom. At first, I told myself it was work emails. She's a freelance graphic designer, after all. But somewhere deep down, a little voice whispered that it was more than that. Time and suspicion formed a knot in my gut that I tried to ignore. I found clues. Or maybe I made them up until they became real. This is where time twists your mind. You see the lip gloss smudged on a different coffee mug, or a hushed phone call in the bedroom with the door closed. You hear a voicemail on the landline. Some man's mechanical voice. You know what he'll do if he finds out. Tell him you're with him. Then a beep. I remember hearing that, just standing there with my hand on the phone, my heart trying to pound its way out of my chest. It was a voice that didn't belong in my house, speaking about me as if I were an obstacle, or a child to be managed, or maybe a threat. At first, I tried to brush it off. Maybe an automated spam call, a scam. But the second message came a week later. The same clipped tone. I think you know what to do. The hair on the back of my neck stood up. I confronted Julia about it, but she just narrowed her eyes and said, I don't know what that is. Probably some scam. Then she changed the subject, calling me paranoid. She'd never done that before, shutting me down so fast. That's when I started taking mental notes, connecting dots in the worst way possible. Time made me bolder and more desperate. One day, I searched her phone while she showered. My fingers trembling so badly, I nearly dropped it in the sink. Locked. Of course. A new passcode. She'd never kept a passcode from me. I started rummaging through the hall closet. No idea why, maybe hoping to find something that would confirm or deny my suspicions, some sign that I wasn't losing my mind. But each day, it got worse. She'd come home late from client meetings, her breath smelling faintly of wine. Her eyes would be distant, like she'd left a part of herself somewhere else. That was the beginning, or maybe the end. Hard to tell the difference when time is your enemy. She used to be so open. Now it felt like we were living on opposite sides of a closed door. And who was on the other side with her? The question circled me day and night. I finally start the car. My hand fumbles, and the keys almost slip from my grip. I put the car in drive and pull out, nearly clipping the curb. My mind is not in the moment. It's tangled in that message, that voice, and the images in my head of her with someone else. I'm driving aimlessly. The plan was to pick up some groceries and clear my head, but now I can't remember what I needed to buy. Bread? Eggs? It all seems trivial compared to the hammering in my chest. I check the rearview mirror. My own face looks foreign. Lines across my forehead that weren't there 5 years ago. Eyes that look haunted, older. I see flashes of my father's face. He died a few years back, and it changed something in me. Made me desperate to hold on to the remaining pieces of family. That was my reason for ignoring the warning signs. I told myself, don't cause problems, Tom. Don't pick fights. Time will smooth everything over. I was wrong. Time erases illusions, not the pain. I find myself in the grocery store parking lot, though I don't remember driving here. I stare at the supermarket's automatic doors, sliding open and shut, letting in people with everyday concerns. My concerns are not everyday. In the reflection, I think I see something behind me, a shadow of a man. I spin around, heart pounding, but there's nobody there. Just a woman pushing a cart, throwing me a perplexed glance. I exhale. I'm paranoid, seeing threats everywhere, but the threat is real. It was real last night when I found an unfamiliar black hoodie in our laundry hamper. Too large to be hers, too small to be mine. I tried it on. It didn't fit. My stomach flipped. I wanted to march up to her, fling it at her feet, and demand an explanation. But I froze like an idiot. I ended up stuffing it back at the bottom of the hamper, as if it might disappear if I just waited. I kill the engine and head inside, grabbing a basket. My mind is on autopilot. I toss bread in, a carton of eggs, some coffee. The overhead speakers play a tinny love song. I grit my teeth. The aisles seem endless. I pass the produce section, where couples pick out tomatoes together. Mothers cradle babies, and old men lean on carts, resigned to the daily routine. I can't help but stare at a couple who look about my age. The woman laughs at something. The man leans in to whisper. It should be a simple, normal scene, but I feel the tightness in my chest. That used to be me and Julia, sharing jokes in front of the oranges or deciding which cereal to buy. Now, I'm alone in every sense. Time. Time is the enemy. I mutter under my breath. A man next to me, picking apples, glances over, startled. I offer a forced smile and move on. My phone buzzes. I fish it out. One missed call from Julia. My thumb hovers, heart racing. I can't answer. I can't face her right now. Let the phone ring. I move aimlessly through the store, picking up items I don't even need, just to keep walking, keep from going back home. But eventually, I have to face it. I pay the cashier, lug the grocery bags outside, and load them into the car. The afternoon sun hits me in the face, glaring, relentless. I get behind the wheel, turn the key, but I can't bring myself to drive away. So I just sit there, the engine idling, air conditioning humming. My mind wanders to that night a few weeks ago, the first time I really suspected an affair was happening. I'd come home early from the office. The house was strangely quiet. I remember the air smelling of a new cologne that definitely wasn't mine. The living room lights were off, but I could hear faint giggles from upstairs. My heart hammered. I stood at the bottom of the staircase, trying to convince myself it was all innocent. Maybe she was on a phone call or watching a video. But then I heard a whisper, distinctly male, telling her to hush. The memory of that moment is burned into me like a brand. I climbed each step carefully, terrified of what I might see. Halfway up, the floor creaked, and the whispering stopped. Silence. My legs felt like lead. At the top of the stairs, the bedroom door was ajar, letting out a sliver of warm light, and then I heard her voice, breathy, uncertain, saying something like, "Just go." Panic. My body started shaking. I inched closer. I peered in, the door so slightly open that I could only see the edge of the bed. Julia's feet, bare, stepping back. Then a man's arm, tanned, with a swirl of dark hair near the wrist, reached out. They were close. I caught a glimpse of his profile. Strong jaw, short hair. He pulled her in, and she stumbled against him with a gasp that sounded too intimate. My mind went blank. A million scenarios exploded in my head. I imagined bursting in, fists swinging. I pictured me yelling at the top of my lungs, "How dare you?" But what I did was freeze, literally rooted to the spot, heart pounding, breath stuck. I wanted to scream, but no sound came. Something primal in me just collapsed. So I stood there, a coward, as they embraced. At some point, the man said, "We need to be careful. He's going to figure this out. He must have been talking about me." She didn't respond right away, and I heard the rustle of clothes, a soft moan. That's when it hit me. They were in the midst of it. My insides twisted with revulsion, heartbreak, anger, so many feelings colliding. Then I lost my nerve, turned, and crept down the stairs. That's the part that haunts me. I slunk away in silence. I ran to the backyard like a startled animal, wanting to vomit. I left my own house, my own bedroom to them. I can't forgive myself for that. I snapped back to the present, still behind the wheel, groceries in the trunk, sweat soaking my collar. The memory physically hurts. My lungs burn as if I've been holding my breath. That was the day I realized everything had changed. Or maybe everything had been changing for a while. And I just refused to see it. I force myself to drive home. The short ride feels endless, every traffic light turning red. It's like the universe is taunting me, slow and merciless, dragging me back to the place where I lost everything. By the time I pull into the driveway, my pulse is racing. I step out, balancing the groceries, approach the front door, and realize my keys are trembling in my hand again. The lock resists me, or maybe I'm fumbling it. Finally, it clicks open. She's in the kitchen, rummaging through a drawer. The overhead light illuminates her chestnut hair. She glances up, her expression carefully neutral. "I tried calling," she says, her voice subdued. I shrug. "Was busy." She eyes the grocery bags. "You got everything." I set them on the counter. I guess. There's a tension so thick, it's almost visible. She reaches out to help me unpack. As we do, our hands brush, and she snatches hers away. It's such a small gesture, but it slices through me. I want to say something, start accusing, but I don't know how. So I let the silence swallow us. Eventually, I muster, "Whose hoodie was that in the laundry?" She freezes momentarily, then continues putting cans in the cupboard. "A friend's. I borrowed it at a work event. Forgot to give it back." My chest tightens. A friend. The word sours my tongue. She doesn't meet my eyes. Yes. Ethan. He spilled coffee on me, so I wore his hoodie until my shirt dried. My throat constricts. Just hearing that name, Ethan, sets me on edge. Time feels heavier, thicker, as if the walls are closing in. "Right," I say. "And I guess he left cologne behind too." She turns, eyes narrowing. "I don't know what you're talking about." We stare at each other, the silence electric. This is where I should press further. Catch her in the lie. But my courage falters yet again, and the moment passes. She exhales, sets a can down, and leaves the kitchen. Her footsteps fade up the stairs, each step echoing in my skull. That night, I barely sleep. She's in bed beside me, but it feels like lying next to a mannequin, a presence without warmth. Her phone is perched on the nightstand, face down, as always. I keep glancing at it, hoping it'll reveal something, anything, so I can finally confirm the betrayal. But I already know it in my bones. Morning comes. She leaves for her meeting. I watch her pull out of the driveway in her car. I feel an uncontrollable urge to do something, so I head to the closet, rummaging for old photos, letters, anything to remind me of the time we were happy. I find an album from our 5th anniversary, trips to see her folks, pictures of me with that silly grin, not a care in the world. God, how naive I was. As I flip through them, a wave of desperation washes over me. I want to turn back time, stop it from erasing all that was good. But time always wins. I gather the courage to do what I should have done days ago. I search the bedroom for any hidden signs. Under the bed, I find a small notebook. It's just random scribbles, design ideas, phone numbers. I see Ethan's name and number scrawled in the margin. My heart pounds like a drum. Adrenaline surges, and with trembling hands, I dial the number on my phone. It rings twice. Then a voice picks up. A male voice I immediately recognize as the one from the voicemail. He says, "Hello." I freeze, my throat tight. My heart thrashes. I hang up. But that half-second was enough. That voice belongs in my nightmares now. So controlled, so casual, like he has all the time in the world. Time. My mortal enemy. I drop onto the bed, phone falling onto the sheets. I clutch my head, mind churning with panic, fury, and an overwhelming desire to end it all. Maybe if I died, she'd regret what she's done. Or maybe I know what's going on. He lifts his chin. "What do you think you know?" I stare him down, breath ragged. I've heard the voicemails, seen the messages. The colon in my house. Don't play me for a fool. For a moment, he stands there, silent. Then he tries to brush past me. Instinct takes over. I place a hand on his chest, shoving him back. "You're not stepping inside my house." He glances down at my hand, then back at me, a hint of a smirk tugging at the corner of his mouth. "All right," he says slowly, as if speaking to a cornered animal. "Tell Julia I'll see her later." My anger flares. "Stay away from her," I blurt, though it sounds hollow even to me. He knows I don't have the backbone to enforce that, not yet. He steps off the porch, heads to his car, and drives away, leaving me shaking, my fists clenched, nails digging into my palms. I feel sick, like I just lost a battle on my own turf. Julia returns an hour later. She finds me sitting at the kitchen table, my head in my hands. "Tom," she says softly, setting her purse down. "What's wrong?" "What's wrong?" I echo, lifting my gaze to meet hers. "Are you serious?" She stands there, arms crossed. "Let's not do this." I stand up abruptly, my chair scraping the tile. "Do what?" "Pretend everything's normal while you keep lying." She exhales, looking exhausted. "I told you, I'm not lying about anything. He was here. Ethan. He was at our door, looking for you." My voice cracks. What am I supposed to think? She looks away, a flash of discomfort crossing her features. Then she forces her composure. "It's just work, Tom." The words hit like a slap. "Don't insult me. I saw you too. That day I came home early." She freezes. Her face goes pale. You saw us." A tremor rattles my legs, but I stand my ground. I did. The memory stings like an exposed wound. And do you know what I did? Nothing. I ran. I ran like a coward. I couldn't face it. Tears well in her eyes, but I see no immediate apology, no denial that can salvage anything. "It just happened," she whispers. "I didn't plan to hurt you." A wave of nauseating anger crashes over me. I grip the countertop to steady myself. "So, what that makes it okay? It just happened? Was it an accident, Julia? Did you trip and fall onto him?" She starts crying in earnest, but the sight doesn't move me the way it used to. I'm too far gone. I feel both pity and disgust, my emotions swinging wildly. I'm sorry, she manages between sobs. It was a mistake. My mind echoes. Mistake. Such a small word for the avalanche of betrayal it unleashed. How long? My voice is cold. She hesitates, teeth biting down on her lower lip. A few months. My chest tightens painfully. Months. For months, she's been with him while I've been sleeping next to her, trusting her, living in ignorance. My eyes brim with tears of rage, but I hold them back. Did you ever love me at all? The question slips out before I can stop it. She meets my gaze, tears streaking her cheeks. I did. I do. I scoff. You sure have a funny way of showing it. The silence that follows is suffocating. We both stand there, a single table between us, but a canyon of betrayal under our feet. Then she speaks, voice trembling. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. I slam my fist on the table, the sound reverberating in the small space. Sorry doesn't fix this. Sorry doesn't undo the sight of you in our bed with him. My voice cracks, and a wave of sorrow threatens to pull me under. She flinches. Tom, I'm not making excuses. I think we just drifted apart. You withdrew. And with my work, rage boils. So this is my fault now. Because I was busy paying bills, making sure we had a stable life. You replaced me with some smooth-talking nobody who sends you cryptic messages. She starts to protest, but I storm out of the kitchen, heading to the backyard for air. The warm evening light bathes the patio. Birds chirp, oblivious. I lean on the wooden railing, eyes stinging, heart slamming in my chest. For a second, I want to leap over the fence and keep running until my legs give out. Then behind me, I hear her footsteps. She's come out to find me. Tom, she says softly, I never stopped caring about you, but something died between us. I just tried to feel alive again. By sleeping with him, I say, my voice as dull as a rusted blade. I can't even muster fresh anger. I'm empty. She doesn't answer. We stand there, a gulf of silence stretching out. Eventually, she retreats back inside. I watch her silhouette pass through the living room window and head upstairs. A moment later, the bedroom door closes. I spend the night on the couch, drifting in and out of haunted sleep. My dreams are full of images of her and Ethan together. Their laughter, their whispers. I see glimpses of me, alone, watching from a corner like some ghost. Each time I jerk awake, my heart hammering, the living room is dark, silent. I check the time over and over, as if by tracking it, I can contain the pain. By dawn, I've decided I can't live like this. I slip outside, ignoring the stiffness in my spine from sleeping on the couch. The morning chill wraps around me as I get in the car and drive without a plan again. 15 minutes later, I find myself parked in front of a dingy bar. It's too early for it to be open, but I just sit there, losing track of time. The world moves outside, but I'm stuck in a loop of anger, pity, and shock. Midday arrives, and I realize where I need to go. Ethan's place. I want to look him in the eye, feel the confrontation burn away my last illusions. Maybe that's how I'll find the courage to do whatever comes next. I remember Julia once mentioned he lived downtown in a loft near the river. She had said it in passing, or so I thought, but that detail remained lodged in my mind. So I drive there, my nerves fraying with each passing street. I park in a visitor spot, walk up to the building's glass doors. There's a buzzer system. I scan the names until I see E. Brooks. My finger hesitates before pressing. A crackle. His voice. Yeah. Delivery. I say, voice shaking. It's a lie, but I can't think of anything else. The door buzzes open. I step into the lobby, heart racing. An elevator ride up one floor, and I'm in a hallway with polished concrete floors. His door stands at the end. I knock, and after a moment, it swings open. He stands there in jeans, a fitted black t-shirt, hair slightly messy, eyebrows raised. When he recognizes me, he tenses. "Tom," he says, a guarded edge to his voice. "What are you doing here?" I step inside without waiting for an invitation, scanning the place. Sleek furniture, large windows, modern art. It screams independence and success. I sense his agitation behind me. "You mind telling me what you want?" he asks. I turn to face him. My heart throbs in my ears. "I want to know how long you've been screwing my wife." His jaw tightens. "I'm not sure this is." "No," I snap. "You don't get to brush me off. You don't get to hide behind half-truths. We're doing this. Right now." He folds his arms, stance wide. "All right. You want honesty. It's been a few months. We connected over some shared work. It got complicated." "Complicated," I echo, anger pulsing in my temples. "You come into my house, you sleep with my wife, and that's complicated." He exhales sharply. "Look, I didn't plan to destroy your marriage. It's not my intention. Julia and we just found something. She said she was lonely, that you were drifting away. We never meant. Don't you dare pin this on me." I growl, stepping closer. He holds his ground. My fists twitch at my sides, craving violence. My mind runs wild with images of smashing his face. But all I do is glare. "You used her, or maybe you both used each other. Now you're brazen enough to come to my home." He lifts his chin defiantly. "She's the one who asked me for comfort, Tom. And yes, I gave it to her. Sorry if that hurts, but you can't blame me for everything." My hand moves on its own, colliding with his jaw. The punch stings my knuckles, and he stumbles back, nearly falling over a coffee table. A flash of shock crosses his features. For a split second, I think I see fear. Then he straightens, wiping a drop of blood from his lip. "You want to do this?" He seethes. I stand there, chest heaving, rage coursing through me, but also a strange sense of triumph. I want him to feel at least a fraction of the pain he's caused me. He lunges at me, driving a fist into my ribs. Air rushes out of my lungs. We grapple, slamming into a side table that topples a lamp. He grabs my collar, tries to ram me against the wall, but I twist, hooking his leg and sending him off balance. In those few seconds, I feel alive in the worst possible way, fueled by hatred and heartbreak. We crash onto the couch, fists flailing. He lands a blow to my jaw that stars my vision. I slam an elbow into his side. We roll off, both gasping. The room is a mess of scattered books and broken glass from a picture frame that fell. He's breathing heavily, blood trickling from his nose. My lip stings, and my shoulder throbs. We stay there, hunched over, panting. Slowly, we both stand, glaring at each other. My entire body trembles. I see in his eyes that he wants to say something, but he hesitates. Finally, he breaks the silence. "Tom, she's not the same woman you think she is. You two haven't been the same for a while. You were just pretending." "Shut up," I mutter, though a part of me wonders if he's right. "Don't act like you know my marriage." He shakes his head. "I know more than you think. She was never sure how to talk to you. She said you'd rather keep your head in the sand." His words sting because they echo what Julia said about me withdrawing, but I can't let him see that. "You could have walked away," I say, my voice dangerously soft. "But you didn't. You chose this." He raises his hands, exhaustion on his face. "I can't change it now." I glance around the apartment, the scattered debris of our fight. A wave of emptiness washes over me, bigger than anger, bigger than revenge. You might think time will fix this, but it won't. Time just erodes everything, leaves behind a hollow shell. He looks at me warily, as if I'm about to lunge again. Maybe I should. Instead, I just head to the door, my head throbbing. "Stay away from us," I say, although it rings hollow. I know it's not that simple. Julia has her own will. He doesn't respond. I leave him there, bloodied and dazed, and step into the hallway, ignoring the stares of a concerned neighbor who peeks out of their door. I take the elevator back down, each second feeling like an hour. My reflection in the stainless steel elevator panel is pitiful, lips split, hair disheveled, eyes dead. There's no victory in this confrontation, just more pain. I slide into my car, leaning my head against the steering wheel, chest tight. For a second, I consider ramming the car into a concrete wall. The thought is fleeting but real. I push it aside. If there's to be any closure, any revenge that matters, I need to keep going. The next few days pass in a blur. Julia tries to talk to me, but I stonewall her. I barely eat. My thoughts are consumed with some twisted sense of finality. Like if I can't have the life I thought we were building, then none of it matters. I consider packing a suitcase, driving off, leaving everything behind. But that feels too easy on them. I want them both to feel a fraction of this agony. Late one evening, I sit in the living room, the lights off. Julia is upstairs in the bedroom. She tried to speak to me earlier, but I walked away. Now, I'm in the darkness, a husk of a man. I thumb through my phone, find a file. It's an audio recording. See, I'd set up a recording device near the landline after those strange voicemails started. And I caught something last week, a conversation between them. The tone is hushed, intimate. He calls her Jules, a name I used to call her. He says he wants to leave the city, just the two of them. I hear her quiet laughter, a mixture of nervousness and excitement. The conversation ends abruptly, but it's enough. Enough to confirm that they're planning a future together, away from me. The next day, a Friday, I wait for her in the driveway. She steps out of her car around 7, looking exhausted. When she sees me standing there, arms folded, she pauses. Tom. I gesture for her to follow me. I lead her inside without a word, shutting the door behind us. Then I turn, my voice eerily calm. I know you've been planning to leave. She sets her purse down carefully. Yes. I've been thinking about it. My hands flex into fists. You're not even going to try to salvage us. She sighs, tears welling again. I don't know how. It feels broken beyond repair. For a moment, I say nothing, letting the silence press down on her. Then I produce my phone, press play. The conversation recording spills into the air, her voice and Ethan's, discussing leaving, discussing getting away from Tom. She gasps. You recorded that? I did. She closes her eyes. Tom, I never wanted to hurt you like this. Then why did you? My voice trembles with both anger and grief. What does he have that I don't? She looks lost, shoulders sagging. It's not about him having more. It's about how we became less. It's about me wanting to feel something other than this gray emptiness. Her words cut deeper than any knife. The numbness inside me cracks. I recall the night I saw them, the way she clung to him, the softness in her voice. Anger surges anew, but it's laced with despair. This woman is gone from me. She's standing here, but her heart is miles away. I slam the phone onto the coffee table. You want out? Fine, but don't expect me to lie down and let you walk over me. I'll make sure Ethan regrets the day he ever touched you. She steps back, alarmed. Don't do something you'll regret. I bark a harsh laugh. I already regret everything. That night is a blur of pacing and half-formed plans. I consider every scenario. Burn his car, expose him to his clients, something dramatic and destructive. But I realize revenge that simply lashes out might end with me behind bars. Instead, I scheme. I dig up old contacts. I find out he's working on a contract with a local tech startup. If I can tip them off to certain questionable business practices or sabotage his code, it might ruin his reputation. This feels petty, but petty is all I have left. Over the weekend, while Julia stays locked in the bedroom, I gather every bit of information I can about Ethan. He's bragged on social media about some advanced new program he's designing. The startup is counting on him to deliver soon. So I send an anonymous email to the CEO of that startup, warning them about potential code theft and referencing rumors of unscrupulous business dealings. I attach some faked screenshots. I'm not proud of it, but I have a friend who can whip that up easily. My heart pounds with both fear and adrenaline. This is my stroke at him, my bite back. Let him lose the job. Let him lose the trust of his clients. It won't undo my pain, but maybe it'll make him bleed metaphorically. By Monday, the rumor mill is churning. I hear through the grapevine that the startup is furious, investigating whether Ethan stole code from a competitor. They've frozen his contract. He's furious, likely suspecting me. Good. Let him stew. In the midst of all this, Julia remains in a cloud of silence, packing a bag. She's not naive. She knows I've done something, but she doesn't ask. Maybe she's too exhausted by guilt and heartbreak to fight me on it. Maybe she feels she deserves my wrath. I don't care. My revenge tastes bitter, but it keeps me moving. On Tuesday evening, I hear her on the phone, talking to Ethan in hushed, urgent tones. No, I don't know who started it. Tom hasn't said anything. Then, Ethan, calm down. We'll figure it out. There's a pause, and her voice lowers further, though I still catch fragments. Yes, I'm leaving soon. I just need to finalize things. I sit at the kitchen table, the overhead light flickering slightly, biting the inside of my cheek. So this is it. She's leaving, and my revenge against him is done. Is that all there is? My thoughts shift to the future. What if she leaves, and I'm left alone in this house with nothing but regrets? The idea is horrifying, yet maybe it's what I deserve. That night, I wait for her to sleep. Then I step into the bedroom, quietly packing a small duffel for myself. I've decided I need to vanish for a bit, let the dust settle. If time is going to erase everything anyway, maybe I should let it. I planned my revenge, and I enacted it. I got back at him for taking her away from me. But the deeper truth is that she was already gone. As I zip the bag, she stirs in bed, eyes opening. The dim light from the hallway illuminates her face. Tom. She murmurs groggily. Go back to sleep, I say softly. She sits up, hair rumpled, eyes puffy from days of crying. Where are you going? I pause, my throat tight. Away. I can't do this anymore. She blinks in the darkness, tears forming. You're running again. I exhale shakily. Yeah, maybe I am. Then I add, I hope you find what you're looking for, Julia. But don't expect me to wait around to see it. She opens her mouth to speak, but no words come out. I can almost hear her heart hammering. She nods slowly, tears spilling onto her cheeks. I feel a flicker of pity, but it's too late for that. Our time is up. I walk out, duffel slung over my shoulder, leaving her behind in the bed we once shared. My steps are heavy, echoing with finality. Outside, the sky is moonlit, the hush of the suburbs broken only by distant traffic. I toss the bag into my car and drive. Where? I'm not sure. Some motel, maybe. An old friend's couch, anywhere but here. For hours, I just drive. The city lights fade behind me. The open road stretches ahead, dotted with gas stations and late-night diners. The numbness in my chest slowly shifts, an ache that throbs with every mile. I replay the last few weeks in my mind, from the moment I first suspected, to the confrontation with Ethan, to that final glimpse of Julia's tear-streaked face. Despite everything, my anger, my pain, my yearning for revenge, there's a part of me that wants to turn around, run back, hold her, and pretend none of this happened. But that part is overshadowed by the deeper realization. It's over. I took my revenge. It won't mend my shredded heart. Time won't heal me. It'll just erode the memories until they become something else. Faded images, half-remembered voices. I picture the face of that man, Ethan, battered and glowering in his loft, his career threatened by my sabotage. I think of Julia, alone in that big house, the silence pressing in on her. Are they both paying for what they did? Possibly. But the satisfaction is hollow. My mind keeps drifting to that final question. If you destroy the people who hurt you, what's left of you? By the time dawn breaks, I'm on a rural highway, the sky lightening to a pale gray. I pull over at a roadside motel, the neon sign flickering. The place is run down, paint peeling off the walls, but it offers a bed and anonymity. I park, kill the engine, step out. My muscles ache, my jaw throbs where Ethan's fist connected. I check in at the front desk, a bored clerk who barely glances at me. He gives me a key, and I trudge to the room. The first thing I notice is the smell of stale cigarettes. The carpet is threadbare. I drop my bag on the floor, lock the door behind me, and collapse onto the creaking bed. Staring at the ceiling, I let out a shaky breath. This is my new reality, at least for tonight. A cheap motel room, alone, no wife, no illusions. The pain is sharp, but there's a dim acceptance creeping in. I did what I did for revenge, but revenge can't resurrect love. It's just a final bullet in a gun that's already been fired. My phone buzzes. I roll over and check it. A text from Julia. Where are you? I can almost hear her voice. I don't respond. Then, after a few minutes, another text. I'm sorry. I just want you to be safe. I toss the phone aside, bury my face in a lumpy pillow. Safe. There's no safety left in this world for me. Time has devoured it, left me with rubble. I drift into a fitful sleep. Images swirl. My father's face, the shape of Julia's smile on our wedding day, Ethan's mocking eyes. In the dream, I'm standing on a beach with waves crashing, erasing footprints as soon as they're made. I can't move, as if my feet are stuck. Then I wake up, sweat-soaked, chest heaving. It's late afternoon when I finally drag myself to the shower. The water is lukewarm, the pressure weak, but it washes away some of the grime. Just not the anguish. I stare at my bruises in the mirror, the reflection of a man I barely recognize. I think about the times I laughed with Julia in our backyard, the times we celebrated birthdays or planned vacations. They seem like scenes from a movie about someone else's life. I need a path forward, but I only see dead ends. The old me would never have orchestrated that sabotage or thrown punches in a stranger's loft. That's what heartbreak does. It distorts you, chips away at your moral sense until you're acting like the worst version of yourself. I recall the phrase I told him, "Time is the enemy." And I realize now that time isn't the only enemy. We become our own worst enemy, too, when we let bitterness drive our decisions. I sit on the edge of the bed, phone in hand, blinking at the meager light filtering through the dusty curtains. I consider texting Julia, but I have no words. The quiet is overwhelming, so I flick on the TV, letting the noise fill the room. A reporter drones on about local politics, something about corrupt officials. Irony stings me. The world is full of betrayals, big and small, but we keep going. The following day, around noon, I pack my duffel and check out. The clerk hardly looks up as I return the key. "Have a nice day," he mumbles, like an afterthought. Outside, the sky is overcast, a chill wind rustling the sparse trees. I unlock my car and slip inside, resting my hands on the steering wheel. Where to now? My mind replays a conversation from years ago, when Julia and I first bought our home. We talked about growing old together, having kids maybe. I see her bright green eyes, full of hope. Time took that from us, or we let time take it, piece by piece, ignoring the signs, burying resentments. I start the car and head back to the city, passing through roads that blur with indecision. No matter what, I have to face the reality of my life. I can't run forever. That's the truth that gnaws at me. Finally, I pull into a rest stop. My phone buzzes again. It's a call from her. I stare at the screen. the ringtone echoing. Part of me wants to throw the phone out the window, let the wind carry it away. Another part needs to hear her voice. So I answer, "Tom." Her voice is tremulous with relief. "Are you okay?" I let out a shaky breath. "I'm alive." "Where are you?" She pleads. "Does it matter?" A pause. Then, "It matters to me." I close my eyes. The swirl of anger, pity, shock is still there, but it's duller. I'm at some rest stop near the city. "I don't know." She sighs, like she's been holding her breath. "Can we talk?" "Please." I open my eyes, gaze out at the gray sky. "Talk about what?" "About how you chose him over me." She's silent for a moment. Then she says softly, "I haven't chosen anyone yet, Tom." My voice wavers. "You have. The moment you invited him into our home, our bed, the moment you told him about leaving me." I hear a quiet sob. "I hate myself for what I've done. I hate that I hurt you. But maybe we owe it to each other to talk, to decide how to move forward without hate." It's a request I never expected to hear. I rub my temples, exhaustion flooding me. "I don't know how to do that, Julia." "Come home," she whispers. "Just to talk." I think about it, the swirl of conflicting feelings, a chance to speak face to face, to find some final release or closure. Maybe it's needed. Maybe it's a trap. Still, I hear myself say, "All right." Because despite everything, part of me wants to see her again, if only to confirm that what we had is truly dead. The drive back feels endless, but eventually I pull into my driveway. The sight of our house triggers a fresh wave of pain. I step out of the car, climb the porch steps with leaden feet. She opens the door before I can knock, her eyes red-rimmed. She looks smaller, as if the weight of guilt has shrunk her. We stand there for a moment, neither of us sure what to say. Inside, the living room is tidy, as though she's tried to wipe away any evidence of the last few days. She gestures for me to sit. I do so, feeling tension coil in my chest. She sits across from me, hands clasped in her lap. The hush in the house is almost suffocating. Outside, I hear a car pass, the roar of its engine fading quickly, a reminder of a world that goes on, oblivious to our pain. After a long silence, she speaks. "I can't erase what happened between Ethan and me, and I know you must hate me." I stare at my hands, the bruised knuckles from the fight. I don't know what I feel anymore. Anger, betrayal, sadness. Sometimes I just want oblivion. She nods, tears falling. I understand, or at least I want to. We talk, haltingly, about how it all went wrong. She tells me she felt lonely, that I didn't see her, didn't talk to her. I tell her I was lost after losing my parents, that I poured myself into work. She confesses she was scared to bring it up, so she sought comfort elsewhere. I don't forgive her. It's too soon for that. But I listen, and for the first time in months, we actually communicate, raw and open. Eventually, we touch on the future. She says she's not sure what she wants. I admit I'm not sure if I can ever trust her again. Yet despite everything, there's a thread of something between us. Perhaps just the remnants of 15 years together. I feel a faint flicker of what we used to be. By the time we finish, it's dark outside. We both look drained. "So what now?" I ask, voice hoarse. She brushes away tears. "If you want me gone, I'll go. I'll pack up and leave. I won't ask for anything." I swallow hard, a dizzy swirl of anger, pity, shock returning. Part of me wants that, I admit. But another part doesn't know. Time stands still for a moment. My enemy, our enemy. At last, I exhale. Let's give ourselves a break. Figure it out. No rash decisions. She nods, relief and sorrow mingling in her eyes. All right. I feel a tremor in my chest. This might be a step toward reconciliation, or just a final pause before we part ways. Either way, I sense a shift, like I've cut the anchor of raw fury and am letting myself drift. Uncertain, battered, but still afloat. Before I head upstairs to the guest room, she catches my arm gently. "Tom," she whispers, voice trembling. "I'm so sorry." I meet her gaze, swallowing the lump in my throat. "I know." That's all I can say. I climb the steps, leaving her in the living room, tears on her cheeks. As I reach the landing, I feel the heaviness of time pressing down, but also a strange flicker of possibility. We might not survive this as a couple. We might never mend. But for the first time, I see a path that doesn't involve me drowning in hate or longing for death. Maybe that's the best I can hope for. To keep breathing. To let time do what it does. It won't heal me, but it'll erase the sharp edges eventually. And maybe in that emptiness, I'll find some measure of peace. I close the guest room door behind me, the faint sound of her muffled sobs seeping through the walls. My throat tightens, and a single tear tracks down my cheek. Then I breathe in, slowly, carefully, bracing for whatever comes next. I lie down on the bed, eyes open, listening to the hush of the house that still bears my name. I don't know if I'll sleep tonight or any night, but I survived one more day, and tomorrow I'll face another. That's all I have left. And that's everything.